Hello, everyone. Welcome to an excellent Prime Odd Weekly race. We're joined by myself, Baja Blood, as commentator, and we've got Op as our tracker. Today, racing, we are highlighting Lokir and Arrow Razor.
Yeah, we're featuring odd weekly settings. This is our kind of basic preset. We'll get a landing site start. Elevators go to their normal destinations. Get your 6 artifacts and go beat final bosses.
Looks like
That
all
should
of
be
our
interesting. Okay.
I was gonna say it looks like our runners have all readied up, so we'll kick off shortly.
Yep, should be catching up to them in just 1 minute here. Yeah, looking forward to see this matchup. Both of these runners may be matching up again in the next few weeks. We do have an upcoming Prime 1 Rando tournament. Both Lokir and Arrow are participating. We'll see if this won't be the first time, or might not be the last time these two match up.
Yeah, these weeklies will definitely be a great practice opportunity for our racers. As I believe it's the end of May that we're starting the tournament, correct?
Yes, matches should be getting on the schedule next week, starting Monday. All right, my first favorite thing about all these odd weekly prime saves is you immediately get thrown in and have to do a trick. And I mess this up every time.
It looks like it's giving both of our runners a little bit of a trouble there.
It's like the cold hands, the race nerves. You haven't had any time to warm up unless you were doing some before. So even this is a beginner trick, but but it can still throw even experienced runners, myself included. And a morph ball start. So yeah,
So
this
that means
is
we're
in logic.
gonna be able to check landing site immediately.
Logic missile expansion. So that's interesting. So our next logical checks are going to be in Chozo, but it wouldn't surprise me too much if the runners try to clear out this Talon area. I definitely agree with doing Artifact Temple here. I personally would do Crash Site as well, which Arrow's doing. The Root Cave item is interesting. I can see cases for skipping that and hoping you can pick it up easier later while routing it into Magmor, or being able to get the actual Root Cave item itself. X-ray visor there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Root Cave is such a tall room, and without space jump, it takes a while to climb back up it. So it does take quite a bit of time to get that one check.
All right, a shove there from Arrow, doing a scan dash off a float sack there. Gets that second try. So this seed is already kind of suggesting something might be in Root Cave. Grapple Beam would put that X-ray in logic, and at that point all we need is space jump.
One free artifact.
A French vanilla artifact. Yeah, that's right. All 6 pedestals are going to be active because we didn't have the artifact when we loaded the room. So we will get a helpful hint telling us that one was in Artifact Temple. See if either of the runners decide to check hints right away. There's definitely different schools of thoughts on this. I personally like to get the info right away, but you can save a little bit of time if you check them later. It just means you're denying yourself access to that information if it affects your routing at all in the mid-game.
Yeah, like for instance, one of the hints could be you've got an artifact in Transport B, meaning you wouldn't have to take that detour for Root Cave yet. You could put that off to later, since you know it's not progression.
Yeah, and so back when I was kind of learning this randomizer, a lot of the artifacts all were dumped early all the time, and that was exactly why I read my hints early, and that habit just kind of stuck with me. Because yeah, knowing that you don't need to come down here right away is pretty valuable. So Lokir, skipping the frigate crash site. That item's not in logic, so we know we'll get some sort of indication, item-wise, that we need to go back there for the X-ray. And the X-ray is not really hard required for much anytime soon anyways. We need it for Omega Pirate. We are going to get some artifact hints here from Arrow. Sun Chamber, Main Plaza, Research Core. Elite Research, Dynamo. Okay. So that's another nice. I also like knowing if Sun Chamber is an artifact, because it makes me not isolate Flagra, or like feel comfortable just going ahead and doing it.
Okay, I've managed to actually type out all the artifacts in time.
Awesome, appreciate that.
So we've got that in chat now for reference.
At this point, not much choice but to go to Chozo. I can't imagine Lucky's going to double back to FCS now. Feels like you'd read that in right away. Oh yeah, right, Arrow. With the extra check and reading the hints a little bit behind the Root Cave check is going to do that first as well. Makes sense. Elite Research is the Phazon Elite and or the Laser Drill check. It is not Omega Pirate. That's Elite Quarters. All right, what are we gonna get in main plaza here? Quick, easy 3 visual checks, often something good. Get a great look at that upper nice grapple in the half pipe. All right.
Okay.
Is that space jump?
It was space jump on the vault ledge.
Okay, so yeah, this seed to me is screaming like bombs in Root Cave. I'm calling that now. So you get Morph to go do this loop. You get your space jump. You get your grapple. You get your X-ray, and then you go to Root Cave. So that's my prediction. We'll see. I'm probably wrong. I guess it could be Varia too. Couple E-tanks early. We do like to have the first couple do really make you a lot more comfortable moving around.
Yeah, those scarabs, if you don't pay attention to them, can ruin your day quite easily.
Yeah, just a lot of rooms you can move through a little more quickly if you're willing to risk taking a hit. Yeah, we got a bunch of rooms in Magmore that we like to roll through lava and such. So launcher? Yeah.
Vanilla launcher?
Nice vanilla. Oh! Okay. What are those for? Interesting power bomb. Does make me, well, now it makes me think Vari is in Root Cave. Power bombs let us do something in Magmore. Should be interesting if we got a late bomb seed. We do have a couple.
I don't know if you saw the last even weekly setting, but bombs were in Security Cave, or whatever that room at the top of Farfen is.
Yeah, I'm interested for the tournament too because we've got a couple tricks turned on in tournament logic that haven't been in the weekly before, such as clipping through objects backwards. The most relevant thing to this being using boost to get into Elite Research backwards, and that one trick actually opens up the possibility for bombs to be in late Chozo, having to go through Magmore to back of mines, through mines to front of mines, through Life Grove. So I'm really hoping to see one of those seeds during the tournament.
Missile and Rune Shrine. Use the power bomb to break open the wall. We've got one more check at the top of the half pipe.
It'd be interesting actually to see if this X-ray actually does send these runners in different directions. Because if I'm Arrow and I know Root Cave's in logic, I'm really tempted to get that at the conclusion of this loop. But Loki doesn't have that info, and right now, like, there's quite a few more checks heading into mid-Chozo than we have, just going back to that one check at Crash Site. And Loki doesn't know that Root Cave is in logic right now. So I imagine Lokir's going to go into mid Chozo, but I'm curious to see if Arrow makes a different play. We get the Beetle music. Unfortunately, setting off the Beetle fight earlier. We are stuck with this for a while until we get a force music change. Alright, what you doing, Arrow? Oh, we do have X-ray. We can take a peek at the tree. That's a suit, I think.
That was an artifact, I believe. We've got one in main plaza.
Oh,
so
okay.
it definitely had the shape of a suit, though. Definitely from the side there.
Yeah, I think I'm used to like seeing artifacts from above like that in monochrome. Okay, that makes sense.
So super missiles will be required.
Yeah, those are interesting. They can turn up early or really late. They often are putting at least one check-in logic, which means the generator can kind of give them to you whenever it feels like. Sometimes they can be pretty early, even if it doesn't bother to put anything in the tree afterwards. But since they don't actually lock all that much, they can equally likely be very late. Alright, looks like Arrow's going to follow into... Oh! I was thinking about it. Maybe deciding that Root Cave is pretty intriguing here. This is probably the play I would make too. I like it a little less having gotten power bombs, because the power bombs put other things in logic, which make me think that like maybe I'm kind of following a red herring here. But following the items you most recently got is generally a pretty strong play. So that's nice on Lokir's end. We don't need Spider to come back to Dynamo. It would have been kind of rude if that wasn't the artifact. Oh, where's Arrow going? Oh, this might be a... Oh, is Arrow going to go for Bombless Arbor Chamber? That's exciting. This might be a safety save before doing that wall crawl.
Yeah. Very easy to get stuck there if you do not have bombs.
No, I didn't catch on Lokir's side what was in Lower Watery Hall.
Another E-tank.
Okay.
We've got a very healthy run going. Lots of E.
So, Lokir... Oh, okay. Gathering Hall we get for free. Lokir saved before Watering Hall, but if Lokir goes straight into Zoid, then that's going to be potentially a soft lock. It's a missile.
Who knows? Maybe Arrow will get lucky here, and bombs will be at the top of Root Cave.
Oh, Lokir's barreling forward. Maybe forgetting that crash site's in logic. Because aside from that, this is the only logical check in Lokir's mind. If I'm thinking correctly. Yeah. So yeah, perhaps just forgot that... Oh. And it was Varia suit. Okay. That's an excellent find for Arrow. Pretty convenient spot for Varia as well. Can go straight into Magmor from here. With the ship refill, we've got full power bombs too, which is actually really nice to be able to do all of the Magmor checks and still have enough to definitely get through into Lava Lake. Wave Buster.
Very good.
Not quite what we're looking for. Yeah, Arrow gonna follow the Varia into Magmor. I like that play a lot.
Ooh.
Oh my god, what? Bombs were vanilla-ish? Oh, I would be so mad about this when I find them in Arrow's position. Nothing in this seed seemed to be suggesting this to me. Amazing. Randomania, unpredictable as always.
Yeah, it's amazing that how different these two routes are going to look now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not like Arrow doesn't have good progression items as well. Like being able to clear out Magmoor now has power bombs, so we'll be able to loop back to Chozo from Lava Lake.
Arrow will last location these bombs. There's really no there's no reason Arrow would ever not last location them, unless we find something interesting here in Magmoor.
Yeah, the issue I see is if Wave Beam turns up somewhere, then well, I guess we might not have access to the far side of Magmoor still, but with these trick settings. But I'm just hoping that they find bombs soon enough. Don't put them off too long.
Yeah, we would need Gravity, Spider, or Bombs to get into Fendrana, as well as Wave. Bombs getting us through the elevator, or this elevator here, and then either the other two getting us through Twin Fires. Just need to be careful about Upper Fiery Shores here. We don't have a way out. Nice. Almost vanilla ice spreaders. Kind of fitting for a major to be on a Chozo statue. I approve that ice spreader location. This does not take the dip into Upper Fiery Shores. Definitely makes sense without either boost or bombs. Supers? Oh, almost gets it. Okay, substantial here as a backup. Well, look here is taking the bomb. Oh, that's a flamethrower. Whoops. Maybe got maybe got baited by the general reddening of textures in Magmoor, just assuming that it was the supers that looked red rather than flamethrower. But we will have a full beam combo percent from Arrow. Those supers being hard required. We got everything else already.
There's that wave beam.
Oh no. Alright, Arrow, what you gonna do? At this point, I feel like you still have to continue back into Chozo. Maybe you end up now doing Tower of Blade 4 bombs, but that's actually not really... That's still pretty fine for Arrow. Now look here. So what does Lokier have? Is the Gallery Tunnel, Flagra, and then Frigate Crash Site? Is that all Lokier has now?
That seems to be correct.
Looks like we're gonna see a plant play here. It's a bit interesting. If you're not comfortable with early wild, I don't know if I love this play. Although, I mean, again, you've only got 3 things in your logic, so I guess you kind of do feel like you have to do this. But if you can't do early wild and the artifacts on ghosts, then you are making Spider Ball hard required for you. Whereas otherwise, you might be able to get it without. Well, I guess that's not true, right? If you can't do early wild, you need Spider one way or the other, whenever you do this. So what am I talking about? We'll get our first boss of the seed here. If you have space, jump at least to make the kind of quick as can be kill relatively straightforward. First one is a bomb slot if you go in from the front. No. I'm not wrong, right? You gotta actually do the first one legit.
Yeah, well, you can do it from the outside, but I believe you have to hit the first panel.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do Flagger backwards, you can hit all 4 from outside the tunnels and have it be fine. But I think if you start the fight, this one's... Lokier says, I'm Lokier in chat.
So not doing Tower of Light. Has access to Magma Pool, though, and Training Chamber access.
Now, actually, is Tower of Light in logic without Spider? I always assume it's in logic with just Space Jump, but now that I'm saying it, I'm not actually 100% sure.
I want to say it's a beginner standable to make there.
Seems reasonable. It's not too bad to get up there.
It's time to open the data visualizer.
It's a missile in Magma Pool. What about TCA?
Standable terrain beginner. So yeah, it would be in logic.
Nice. So yeah, a little surprised Hero didn't dip right in there. So yeah, Training Chamber area pretty dead. Ooh, that's spicy.
A little
Hero
warm.
doing an accidental grapple dash there. Oh, I would just YOLO for the edge here, not try to grapple on here. Oh dear. Oh, that little bit of hesitation might have been the difference. Oh no. Egg pool. Not a fun room to be in the drink if you don't have gravity suit to get out. Arrow did save, what, before the Varia. So we lose the Varia, we lose Wave. Ice Spreader and Flamethrower, I guess. And Wave Buster. We lose all the beam combos. No! Can never financially recover from this. But actually, no, I don't think this is too bad for Arrow. The Wave is in a pretty annoying location if you think Tower of Light's going to be the next progression, which,
yeah,
as Arrow, I probably would. Arrow? You don't have Varia, I believe.
Seeing on Lokir's side that Flagra was a E-tank, meaning that ghosts do have our artifact.
Oh, interesting. Does Lokir know Early Wild? I actually am not sure. Let's see if he goes for it. Nope.
That's not how you do early wild.
Why do now what you put off till later? No, it is a one of those tricks that you like. It's not something you can just like play the game enough and like get good movement and then be able to do. Like you actually need dedicated practice at it.
Yes.
I think Loki was saying hasn't played this game too much in the past months, so. Not too surprising, and not a big deal. Alright. Arrow re-picking up the Varia. Looks like is going to make the play for Wave into Chozo again. Now this is somewhere where you take a bad death. You take a death. Not necessarily a bad death, but like still you're behind some minutes. Now is where I start to wonder, like, do you try to take this Wave Beam and Sequence Break and defend? And like hope that like you were just about to find Gravity Suit or something that you don't really care about. That was supposed to send you that way anyways. X-Ray was in Forget Crash Site. So Arrow... So we got more missiles in Alcove Landing Site. Arrow went straight for the X-Ray, but Lokier has not been back to Landing Site since. And not having seen the X-Ray has put Lokier off doing the Root Cave check, which in his mind is out of logic. But we may be seeing pretty soon here anyways. Yeah, at this point I don't think Lokier hit anything else. Gonna do Crash Site first, makes sense. You know at this point something's gonna be here. don't think we're gonna see another flamethrower pickup this time.
No.
The Ice Spreader is actually not in a terrible position to re-grab if we ever get the opportunity to check Upper Fiery Shores. It's pretty much free to pick up Ice Spreader, so that's kind of nice for Arrow. Because that is one of the beam combos that's actually relatively useful on Exo if you're not an expert at the any percent fight. Look, here gets X-Ray, which opens up exactly one thing, so gotta imagine I'm gonna head straight for that Barrier suit. Yeah, we'll need to make a return trip to Chozo here with Spider and Supers at some point to clean up the tree and Ghost. But we've been pretty thorough in Chozo otherwise. So yeah, Loki are going to be in a pretty good position here. We should be entering Magmor before Arrow exit. Oh, no, that's not true. We'll be entering about as Arrow is kind of exiting. But has the advantage of already having found the bombs, cleaned up the mid-Chozo area. And then can take the wave beam straight into Shorelines, which is presumably where our next progression is going to be. Anything else accessible? I guess is Antechamber in Logic?
No, not yet. We don't have. I guess it's beginner standable to Furnace.
I know Furnace is beginner. I think Hall of Elders is too. Loki goes for the side of bombs as well. Does have the comfort of bombs in case things get a little dicey. Still gotta be careful not to completely miss the collision of the room. If you end up kind of falling into the ether here, it's pretty yucky, even with bombs. So if you end up watching his back look here, a lot of folks like to look at the right side of the rock that's kind of dangling down there. And then that kind of lines you up where you just need to go forwards and back rather than kind of diagonal like that. Might help. But not going to go for the Arbor Chamber. It's not in Logic anyways. Relatively quick to pick up again if we ever need to save warp, and you often end up needing to come through this pathway multiple times in a seed. Anytime you take a save warp and need to get like anywhere but Chozo, going through this is often the best way to get there. Meanwhile, Arrow is... Did Arrow still put off Tower of Flame?
I believe so.
Interesting. Maybe not. Also, maybe also like me was questioning whether it was in Logic. If it's not in Logic, I agree with this play. Like, do what's in Logic first. Arrow's kind of in a similar position where there's not many. He's kind of running out of places where the next thing can be. But otherwise, I kind of would like to see the Tower of Light clear first, just to be able to confidently go into Zoid and expect to find bombs there. I was thinking about. I was kind of surprised by that short tunnel play, but actually we don't have a ton of missiles. We've had so many E-tanks and progression items that our missile counts actually are kind of mediocre right now. I kind of get still wanting a few more missiles.
Yeah, so at what point do you find that you're comfortable with your missile count?
If it's like, I mean, I'll pick up free missiles. Short tunnel to me is just it isn't even that slow. It's just it uses a power bomb, and power bombs are precious. Maybe I've been playing too much Door Rando. I don't know. But yeah, you never know when you're gonna. Unfortunate. Dash there. Yeah, you never know when you're gonna need a power bomb or go a million years without getting a drop. So I'm always somewhat averse to using a power bomb for short tunnel if it's not something pretty good. I would say like once I have about 80 missiles, I start to feel like more doesn't actually ever help me anymore. That's usually like enough to like use a bunch of missiles on Ridley and then still have enough for supers and ice spreaders against Exo. That's usually
Interesting.
Fighter ball there. Okay.
So that's our access through the back of Phendrana.
This is where I'm really happy to know that Upper Dynamo is an artifact. Because I would hate to think that that's like my ice beam at this point. Especially since I'm here and I want to go to Phendrana right now. Now Lokir hasn't been all the way to early Magmar yet, so
the Upper Dynamo item it isn't the artifact, it was the lower item.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so might have to go back.
That's true, yeah. Upper Dynamo could be the next progression then. That's gross. I hate having that on the table when I'm like trying to decide if I need to do like labs or something in Phendrana. It feels very punishing to go into labs without ice and not find it in there. This will be another new check for us here. Transport Tunnel A.
Arrow finding his bombs. We'll be happy with that.
Just more. Yeah, look, you're gonna skip the couple remaining checks we have in early Magmor. That will cost him Wave Beam, which is a bit unfortunate. So might see just a brief look into Fen and then an awkward back into Magmor, back into Fen. Although maybe look here save works honestly from Starlines. We'll see. It'd be better if look here just took the elevator out after these checks, I think. But I guess you could make a case for wanting to. You could maybe like save warp this and then try to go to like those Spider Lock Chozo checks, but without wave, it's really just the one, isn't it? Or upper furnace with this equipment, I think, is now in logic. So it's upper furnace and upper dynamo. I don't know if Lokir did Lokir climb up and look at upper furnace.
I don't think so.
See. Okay. What power bomb drops? What? 3 drops from 3 enemies.
It's always when you don't need them.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Arrow might give us another chance here to see what is in Upper Furnace. Answer question in chat. Yes, X-ray was crash site. The wave beam that Loki is missing was in storage cavern. Get those two stupid rooms mixed up. And then the spider was in Upper Fiery Shores that Loki has. Okay, yep, Arrow is gonna do this climb here. We'll get a look at Upper Furnace. Could well be something. In my opinion, it is pretty awful actually attempting to pick up this item with that spider.
Yes,
I
that
disagree with that missile.
a little out of the way.
A little out of the way, and you're now forced to. You have to double back without wave, so you're like it's not only picking up the item, but you're also watching a cutscene now. Because picking up that item is the trigger for the Ridley flyby cutscene, which is relatively slow. Alright, arrow up. What are we gonna see up here? Oh, right. Arrow might be making the play to antechamber. Because, yeah, I think with this loadout, it is in logic. Okay, look here. It is going to take the elevator out, which I like. Finish up your Magmore routing back into Chozo. Or you can do
Did Lokir check Ice Runes East for the spider track item?
Oh, I don't think so, actually. Yeah, I think just went straight to Canyon and back. Did scout the 2 Shorelines items. I actually don't know if Lokir even scouted the... Did Lokir scout Ice Ruins West? I think so.
Yes.
I don't remember what
I believe it was
though.
a missile.
Okay. We'll be picking up that wave beam. We'll be slightly annoyed with that location. And the question is, do you take that into Chozo, or do you just turn right around and go back to Fen? It kind of sucks because Lava Lake gets awfully isolated if you don't do it right now, and then by the time you've done Lava Lake, I don't know if you feel obligated. It feels bad to turn all the way around through Magmore. But yeah, like once you do Lava Lake, you're not really close to any checks that you haven't seen yet. Now look here, we'll have the wave to do some cleanup in early Chozo, I suppose. It has the Magma Pool checks, has Tower of Light, Tower Chamber. Although I think Tower Chamber actually requires gravity in these settings. Alright, do we have a vanilla ice beam? This would be a huge break for Arrow. If so, no, unfortunate. We've ruled out Chozo for the next progression. No, we haven't. Dynamo is still in play. And Tower of Light. So a couple options there. Honestly, Wave only doesn't open us much up in Phendrana either. We don't have... What do we have? We have Quarantine Monitor, Ruined Courtyard. So there's actually, once again, there's like not that many checks on the table. Either runner could do the dash and observatory to get access to the rest of labs. Out of logic. Focus like an ice beam there. We can do like workstation Thardus stuff without thermal if we wanted to route through Magmore that way. We do have logical access to Twin Fires now with the Spider Ball. But look here, does want to stay in Magmore here. And, Arrow has done a good job kind of coming back from this death here, only behind the spider, which I expect we would see him check, especially now. Yeah, now that we have bombs to escape. Plus, you get that free ice spreader, which might be nice later. So as long as Arrow makes that check, we will be even up in progression once again. Which just means that Lokir's ahead, like Peking Canyon. And honestly, that's just about it.
Yep, just a little bit of intel, but very close.
Yep. Conversely, Arrow has the advantage of knowing Upper Furnace, Crossway, and Antechamber. And yeah, Arrow going up. This is good.
Very interesting how both the runners have sort of met back up at this point, 40 minutes in.
Yeah, very interesting. Like the finding wave and bombs in a different order was pretty interesting for the routing of this seed. I still can't get over those stupid bomb location. That would have thrown me for a loop for sure this seed. I would have not felt led to that location until I pretty much last location did. Which luckily, like, we didn't get enough other stuff that you could really go that far without finding the bombs. So it would have been like a somewhat not too painful last location. Ice Beam sucks to last location, and like anything you look for after getting Ice Beam really sucks to last location, just because that's so many checks you probably just went through. And Ice is mostly painful just because there's two really long quest chains, as it were, which is going all the way through labs and going all the way through Jozo, where it can turn up. And if you have to do both before finding it, and like either one becomes such a stronger play if you have ice. So like having to do both to get your ice really sucks.
Looks like a missile in Chapel of the Elders.
Like you're not interested. Rightfully so. Alright, Arrow gonna give us our first look at Ice Ruins East, unless Loker did check it and we just both missed it.
I'm checking Lokir's map to see if we missed it or not.
It's not lit up. Oh, look here, no. Was that? No, it wasn't anything, though. Alright, never punished. Yeah, maybe forgetting that the spider track check is accessible. Unless we... Yeah. I hate this little slope jump. There we go, nice. Arrow in the meantime going to follow to Chozo Ice Temple. So look here, extending the lead a little bit by just never checking Ice Ruins East. Just go over the end. Sorry. Nope.
A little bit of an overshoot there.
The bane of every Echoes player, limited influence. So both of these runners are kind of jack of all trades, rando players, a bunch of multi-world kind of stuff in all sorts of games. I don't think either of them would say Prime is their main focus. Look here, and I definitely, at least even among the Prime games, are more experienced with Prime 2. And Arrow's been in a ton of tournaments, playing all sorts of randos, which is pretty cool.
You're taking a save before entering labs. Could be a good idea to have that pivot save open to you. If you end up not finding anything.
I don't mind it. I personally like the observatory one, assuming you're committing to doing the autologic lab checks. So yeah, actually, at this point, there's almost no reason to come in here if you're not making the autologic play. How do I feel about this? I think I dislike this. I think I dislike this. Human is like our only logical check right now. So I think I just want to go there and
we've got upper dynamo
oh, yeah,
as well.
all the Chozo checks. Shit. Okay, I like this a little bit more then. I keep thinking that we've seen Chozo cleaned up, but we have not. So there's too many places where something could be. So this could be sequence breaking, like a boost ball in Tower of Light or something like that, which would be a good play. But I was thinking if you only have one logical check, even if it just ends up being boost ball there, you still you're close to labs and know at that point that something's going to be there. But yeah, with Chozo on the table, I can see kind of taking the risk, do a little sequence break.
Being bullied by the pirates a little bit here. We'll be able to check the item.
Burger?
Spiky burger? It was small and round, so
yeah,
I assume it was a PB expansion.
I'm realizing I have not like seen enough items in X-ray vision in this randomizer to be able to identify everything at a glance, especially on restream. Yeah, that must have been a power run. Okay, we're clearing out the pirates. Slightly slow, just because you have to watch this stupid cutscene. But if you're not 100% comfortable with this dash, not having the pirates interfering is awfully nice. This goes. Oh, almost. Perhaps just a touch late on the space jet there. This height is more, or this dash is more about gaining the proper height in the right amount of time rather than getting great distance. Excellent. Nice done. Meanwhile, Arrow is following Loki's tracks here, entering labs. Missile top observatory. I just remember, look, we had a moment of hesitation before that R jump across observatory. I remember in one of my first weeklies, I saved at the top of observatory, messed up the jump across, and just reloaded my save rather than having to climb observatory again.
Yep,
I was not very
I may have done that. Yep. I think a lot of new players can probably sympathize with some of these choices.
Yeah, that dash is really like one of those like once you learn that like I don't know. There's words that I'm trying to come up with that I can't come up with, but yeah, it's one of those like first tricks that you really have to put in a bit of practice to be able to figure out. But it's so useful that it's like often worth being one of those first kind of difficult tricks that you try to learn.
Yeah. Considering all that's blocking you really is the boost ball there, it's nice to, well, I guess if you don't have bombs or anything like that, but yeah, just being able to pull off that dash, getting access to labs is very nice.
Mm-hmm. And like relative to like echoes, there's not a ton of items you can skip in Prime. But boost is one of them. Like, it kind of sucks to skip boost, but like being able to skip items can let you break some really bad logic chains sometimes. And this is one of the key things to learn if you want to be able to skip boost ball in some seeds.
You're looking like you might be a little bit rusty on the aiming for these canisters.
Yeah, I think you want to jump a little more directly towards the wall. Look, he's going a bit too far forwards, which is probably restricting his... There we go. It says in race I have good aim.
beginning to sweat there as the missile count started to wind down there. Thankfully, lots of boxes around, but
Alright, Arrow's turn for the observatory dash. Did leave it one pirate behind. Going for the slightly faster strat here, to avoid getting bullied too much by it. Using the door to dash, that's interesting. I see you go for the kind of orange computer-y wall thing. Good sit as well, nice sit on. Door dash.
ooh.
Off our tracker, always there with the puns. So where is progression? Did we sequence break a boost ball? Or has this just been a big red herring plasma beam? Hey. That's not what I want to find here ever. That's awful, actually.
Yeah, it's rough because that means that you've gotta backtrack all the way out now if this last check isn't ice beam.
Yeah, well, and like not even backtrack like to. Oh right,
Oh,
Research
that's
Corps was an
yeah.
artifact. And like not even backtrack to Observatory to save warp, but like you kind of want to go to Chozo Ice Temple right now before you leave, because that could well be the ice beam now. Lokier also hasn't seen Arbor Chamber, so that could be on his mind now. Now he won't need to do the out of bounds to get that item, which, as we know, is just the Wave Buster.
We're gonna be able to see all the fun pirate layers here as we do the Darkened Labs.
Yeah, this is always fun too. We get the Metroids and we get the Flying Pirates. Oh no.
Unfortunate fall.
Yeah, trying to cut a corner, save a little bit of time, but unfortunately, oh my gosh, there's so many enemies in this room right now.
Just chaos.
Alright. Escaped Research Corps at least. Yeah, very curious to see if either does make the play all the way back to Chozo Ice Temple here. Now I'm pretty sure nothing interesting was behind any of the visible ice checks.
No, I don't believe so. What I'm thinking here is run back to Chozo Ice Temple, hop back into Magmore, make your way back to Farfen, perhaps. Check Human, fight Thardus with Plasma Beam, makes it a little bit easier.
Oh gosh, it's so tough.
But I mean, I think the last logical progression item we got was the Spider Ball, correct?
Yes. Yeah, the plasma's out of logic behind a boost or an ice. It's so tough. This is why like I think it would have been good on Arrow. Like Lokier, just the way Lokier routed with the wave beam, like kind of makes sense to me in this position. But as Arrow, I really wish I would know at this point whether Tower of is anything interesting or not.
Yes.
Because the fact that there's like Human is a pretty good check right now, but it's one check versus we've got Tower of Light, and out of logic, I believe Tower Chamber and Upper Dynamo. So like the density is favoring Chozo. But I don't know. It sucks to leave Human behind. Well, is that really true? Humon's about as bad to reach via a save warp than it is from anywhere else we are right now. Yeah, this is a tough one to route. Yeah, Lokier going all the way out labs. I do like this. We do, especially in Lokier, if Lokier has finally remembered Ice Runs East, has even more checks unknown at Shorelines area. But yeah, if you're trying to, if your game plan is to try to sequence break like a boost ball in one of these couple unknown checks, then following up the plasma is pretty logical. A save, maybe just a health refill. What is... What? Is Arrow?
I haven't been paying attention to what's going on the other side there. The Arrow's choosing to warp to the start.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all tough. Like this is slow. Like this play from Luck here is slow, and it's not in logic. So I can see some merit in skipping it, but I think personally I think it is too likely that Ice Beams and Chisel Ice Temple for me to want to isolate that now.
Yeah, because
especially with Arrow. Oh, good.
I was gonna say, especially with Chozo Ice Temple having the save in Shorelines as well. Even if you wanted to save warp after the check, you have that possibility.
Yeah, at this point, I think Arrow is just ahead on checks with having done the far Chozo play. Can't think if Loki's done anything that Arrow hasn't at this point. And so, like, having done those extra checks kind of increases the relative probability of Chozo Ice Temple being good in your position. Oh, this drone layer. This is not something I see that often.
A nice double kill.
Yeah. Okay, we are going to see this Tower of Light play. This has been bugging me for a while. See if this is, in fact, like a boost ball or something. Set us on the right path, logic-wise. Still on the hunt for these super missiles, too. And they could be just about anywhere. I do... Seeds where Plasma locks Ice I always find interesting for the Phazon Suit hunt as well. Just because it really kind of opens up, probability-wise, more options for where Phazon Suit can be. Versus, like, when you find Plasma last, it's probably just Phazon Suit in our minds. That's where it is. It's not Chozo Ice Temple. Not Tower Chamber either. What is at the top here? Oh, you know, one thing Lokier has done is plant. That's actually a pretty decent chunk of time.
Yeah. And that's a guaranteed chunk of time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's our boost.
Okay. So Plasma's in logic. These are the seeds where I now no longer have any idea what the item chain was. Because, like, actually, this has been in logic. Like, the boost to plasma chain has been in logic for so long.
Yep.
That, like, these are the things I just, like, can't read them anymore. So I have, like, no idea. Just last location, your ice beam. Some commiseration from some of the non-restreamed runners about how difficult this seed is to route. And I agree. This is not an easy one. I like this play from Luck here. This is a good check right now. Which is not going to pay off, but does leave us pretty close to Chozo, which is where we need to be. I think, look, here.
I'm sensing some feelings.
Going down.
Gonna check what's in Ruin Gallery, I imagine. I don't know if either runner
I meant
has...
on Lokir's side. I was expecting a Joseph play from Lokir, but yeah, this might be that Qmon play.
We can also get a workstation, although it won't be in logic, but since thermal is so easily skipped.
Yep. So what are we down to? Qmon and Upper Dynamo? Is there anything else we haven't seen between the two runners?
I don't think there's anything else. And I mean, and Thardis as well is in logic, I think.
Thardis does require thermal in these settings.
Oh, that's true, yes. Because invisible objects is off.
Yeah, do you need the gravity suit to make that slope jump work? So yeah, Spider Ball instead, Spec Strat to the R jump. This is a somewhat difficult R jump. The little bit of standable you have to work with isn't big, so getting that kind of running speed, even though with holding L you get it pretty quick, just it's easy to run off the platform or not get a great jump. Well, between the two of them, we will get our answer. And honestly, pretty sizable advantage to whoever's correct.
See, if I was Arrow, I'd be thinking check Upper Dynamo first, and then go back for Flagra, since you'd be closer to that Magmore elevator.
That Magmore elevator is like kind of useless now, just because like it's so slow getting all the way through.
That's true. You do have to go across all the...
Yeah, and like rooms. From anywhere you can just save warp and get into Twin Fires. That said, no, I think I slightly prefer doing this right away. Getting a bit bullied by these arrow troopers. They're pretty annoying. Take a health refill here. That looks like it. This is a sea brawler. Both runners are we've only got like 2 logical checks right now. The runners are kind of on their way to each different one right now. So someone's probably going to find an ice beam. Can it really be anything but ice? I guess it could be thermal, and then it's just on Thardis, but at this point it kind of has to be ice. Supers don't open anything for us.
Let's see Qmon be thermal, so that Thardis is immediately on logic.
Yeah. At that point you just do it. Question is, do you do it even if this is nothing? Oh my god.
There it is.
Moot question. Oh boy. Yeah, you kind of feel obligated to do this now.
Yeah. At least with Plasma Beam makes it a little bit quicker.
Simultaneous boss fights, just what we love to see here. Rock the Dwayne Johnson. So yeah,
Imagine Arrow here.
Yep, go ahead.
I was gonna say, imagine Arrow here after fighting Flogger is probably gonna pick up the artifact on Ghosts, saving that little bit of a backtrack that Lokir is gonna have to do, and we'll have to find super missiles to get that check as well, which is fine because we know super missiles are required anyways for the tree.
Yeah, so it ends up not being super big advantage. Like, it's pretty easy for Lokir to just do the tree and then go back up and do Ghosts. So that's a little bit unfortunate for Arrow that the tree was also required. But yeah, you know, you gotta do this as Arrow, and there's a chance that it's also your progression, so get it out of the way. To see when or if Lokir will make it back to that boost ball. Because let's see. Oh yeah, that boost is tricky actually. Because like if this is Ice Beam here, the plasma's in logic. So you don't have any indication that you like missed boost ball somewhere early, and you could be like thinking that you needed to get do left in the back.
Plasma was in the research lab Aether?
Right. Yep.
Yes. I was getting my labs confused.
Yeah, so the boost that Lokir is missing is in Tower of Light. The thermal the Arrow is missing is Human, or this is Doorstep here. We collectively, the only unknown checks we have that are in logic are this from Lokir and Upper Dynamo. So I would give this better than 50-50 of being Ice Beam. We'll see. Amazing.
Very good.
Oh boy! Now all we need is a vanilla phase on suit, and we got the full boss package here today on SpeedGaming. Okay, so whole world's open up to you as Lokir. What do you do? Oh god, and we got a artifacted super missile now too. This sucks. Your elite research artifact might also be like super annoying to get without boost if you're not familiar and good at the spinner manip. Only thing we're like relatively comfortable without is gravity suit. And then for all we know, one of those other items is just chilling in frigate. And yeah, I have no idea what the logic chain is. Like it could have put plasma and ice in either order, and that makes me have like no idea where I'm supposed to go from here. If I knew the order that the beams were placed, then you can have an idea of which areas you're supposed to go. But since both are plausible, this gets really hard to route. I like the Farfen loop. Might as well do it while you're here. Wave was in storage cavern.
Cavern. Cavern, yes.
I think I've done that twice now.
Magmore.
Yeah,
That one.
Triclops storage.
Bombs were behind Zoid, so that was a painful one.
But Wave put Boost in Tower of Light. And then Boost put Plasma and Aether also accessible. But then, yeah, also we could conceivably have gotten Spider for Twin Fires, go get the Thermal, go fight Dartis. I don't know. They're both plausible to me. Oh no, down. I hate
Quit getting a slope
so
there.
Yeah. Did Arrow do Dynamo? He got here awfully quickly if he did Dynamo.
I believe so. I think I
Okay.
saw him go back through.
Maybe it was just like a quick save warp or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw him go back through the front of some chamber. So
Grapple Strand. Heck yeah. So look here, we'll have a bit of a lead to this Ice Beam, but maybe slowly kind of hemorrhaging time to boost ball movement in some of these rooms. Especially like leaving Farfen here is so bad without gravity or boost. That room after Hunter Cave is just atrocious. Like even this room boost helps a lot. Easy Echo's dash from Loki. The comment straight on that room is an R dash, which is more similar to what we Echoes players are comfortable with. Easy every time from Loki there. And last chance for Farfen to pay out. Although that depends on if Loki is comfortable with this escape. I don't know how often he's practiced this. I didn't really ever get a good look at it, but look, he's not going for it. Presumably nothing. Unless he just is not comfortable at all with the ice escape. Or the gravity escape. Yeah, Arrow on track to pick up this Ice Beam. Gotta think he's gonna make the Farfen play after as well. This kind of makes sense. Plasma can look like it's boost locked though, if it was placed before ice. Yeah, well that's what I mean. Like you don't know if ice was first, or in which case, yeah, boost can be whenever. Or if plasma was first, in which case you were supposed to go wave to wave and boost to plasma. Yeah, this seed has been very, very strange with the item placements, and like same thing. Like the whole start of the seed was like super pointing to a Varia suit in Root Cave. Like you do your Hive Mecha loop, you get space jump for grapple and X-ray in like crash site and the main plaza half pipe. And you're like, oh, okay, we go to Magmore and we get a wave beam there, awesome. And then meanwhile, bombs are just chilling at the back of Zoe for no reason, because power bombs were also freely available in the Hive Mega Loop. I don't know, just strange. It's like there have been like 2 paths through this seed logically, like 2 parallel things that you have to do, which just is super confusing to try to follow as a runner.
Yeah, like we saw Arrow and Lokir split off after about the 5-minute mark, and they rejoined the route at the 40-minute mark. So 35 minutes of completely different routing ended up at the same exact spot.
Look here as he's leaving fences. You know, I didn't miss committing down. Another true thing in Echoes. There are not that many rooms that you can fall and lose like a minute for free just by falling down the room. But Fendrana has 2 of them. So yeah, this is going to be a tough boost ball for Loki to track down. But he is still sort of ahead with the... Yep. Arrow finds it. At this point, yeah, that was the last location, I think, on Arrow's side. Look, here wants to make the mines play. This is a bit unfortunate if upper elite research and Loki doesn't know the boost map.
Even with the boost minute, it's not a fun one to do.
No. God, no. TGC, no. The runners have been through enough. I do still want, like, Super Zor Phazon to be on OP, just so that we actually have all 3 bosses. Oh, Arrow running backwards lower fen. That's interesting. Gets the underwater slope jump there. Nice. So routing this backwards to me says that you want to save warp when you're done. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what the point of this is. But when you do route this way, you end up in Hunter Cave last. No, Frost Cave last, which does have a save point. Otherwise, I think this is slightly slower. I did not see if PPC was anything, but look, you're seeing.
It was not. It was a missile.
Look, you're wisely choosing to save the power bomb over the over the missile in this case. And we've got triple digits already, so looks like Looker's interested in doing upper mines first. Seems reasonable. There's a chance that you just lock into your progression plus the artifact up there. Plus, you're without boost, you're kind of hard committing to the OP fight if you go down that shaft. Sometimes when folks want to go down, you still want to do this elite control access check first.
Yes.
Just
TGC can tell you all about that.
Yeah. I have mixed opinions on that. Depends on what you're looking for. If you're like a go -1, then I think it makes a lot more sense. Just because, like, yeah, you really don't want to just like leave this for last. But in this case, we're still missing a few things. If you were gonna go down, I would just have gone straight down. But I say that, and then like the next time I play this, it's gonna be Supers there and Phazon Suit and MQB, and I'm gonna look like a real moron. Look, you're leaving? Not leaving. They're having a bit better time in these tall fen runes, which I really should not have said until he finished them, but so far so good. Right. Probably made up a little bit of time here. Getting through these rooms. Oh, that's pirate data. One more check here for Arrow. Frostcade, which we saw was dead. Is this something? Or is this just like a blind check?
Don't believe Looker peeked the item.
No, it's missing.
Fight the pirate normally.
Oh, yep. For those unaware, there is a AI abuse you can do for these pirates. They will not activate their kind of attack patterns until they are directly facing Samus. You just kind of strafe around them while they're in their kind of hunting mood. Just shoot them to your heart's content, or then they won't put up that pretty annoying shield. Wave Buster? No missiles for lower
Still
mines now?
not enough.
Wow, even after...
Oh
Wow.
my good heavens.
Does Wave Buster not work on this?
It was stunning it, but
Wow. Oh, I hope Look has at least like some missile. Because like Fungal Hall A is pretty bad with no missiles. So Look here where you can just leave. Maybe he just wants the power bomb, I don't know. But you can kill the drone or not, but you can just leave if you don't want this item. As long as you're not planning to come back here and save warp, in which case you might as well do the maze the first time. But in Loker's case, I don't think a save warp would be very good. I think you're kind of committing to just do the OP fight at this point. There is a crash here in some earlier versions of the Rando, where if you activate the drone and then go into the shooting gallery and do too much of your own to put projectiles on the screen, that you can overload what the game is comfortable rendering, run out of memory.
on our right side we're seeing Arrow enter into lower mines. Oh.
Error routes this. I think there's cases to be made for both doing upper and lower first. Lower is like a little bit more efficient, and if you're just committing to the full clear, I think it's a little more likely to have something like your Phazon suit down here. You're risking something like a super in PMT or a Phazon in MQB, something like that would be really bad doing this first. And you're risking it just being like a sort of jet seed where lower mines is deleted. So I didn't get a good look at PCA there, but Arrow did scout it. I am normally pretty against that scout. This is actually one of the few seeds where I like it, because I think it is kind of a toss-up whether you should do upper or lower mines first. So that info could be the deciding factor. Unfortunately, I did not actually get the info. Doesn't get bullied too hard by the Metroid so far here in MQA. What's the item? Missile. Drop! Nice. Well, I don't think we needed it. Yeah, we didn't need it. Nice to have an extra PR bomb for MQB, though, in case a bunch of Metroids group up by you on the door. And then we'll always need one for Phazon Mining Tunnel. Arrow also making at least the ACA check first. See what he decides to do after this. It's a missile, and we go up.
Turning around.
Interesting. Route divergence continues. Yeah, this has been actually a pretty fun race to call. Lots of different decisions. Yeah, at some points we kind of got railroaded into the same route, but yeah, really interesting to see the different approaches to this seed. More PB drops. Look, he's just swimming in PBs. Arrow doing? Didn't check grapple yet?
Interesting choice.
Surprised by that, yep.
Yep.
We have grapple to get up there. Yeah. Like, if you don't have grapple, I can kind of understand. Like, that last slope jump onto the standable spider drag thing is pretty bad. And you're risking, like, falling and having to do a bunch of stuff to get back up. But with grapple, it's not that bad to get up there. Calvin, who is not vulnerable to missiles. Just supers, because those are the power beam combo, so they do have the like power beam damage type.
I always thought they should be damageable to power bombs as well.
Oh yeah. Nothing so far in lower mines either. BGC and chat may have been correct that Life Brew was actually secretly the answer this whole time. Oh, that's a suit. Wow, upper elite research. Gonna be huge here. Artifact and a suit. Hopefully not gravity. Could just be gravity, I guess.
That'd be bad news.
Surely this is Phazon, yeah?
Phazon suit does love to be in Phazon mines.
Oh, I keep seeing artifacts in X-ray. Yes.
I was just believing you. I didn't see what was on the screen.
All right, we're 0 for 2 at correctly identifying artifacts that we know where they are from hints in X-ray Visor. It's a skill to work on, I guess, for the future.
Here's an example of that AI manip of just slowly walking to the side.
Okay, so we did learn the artifact is...
Oh.
Okay, well,
There you go.
I was sort of right, I guess, right? Suit and artifact and elite research. Just... So this is probably unfortunate. This is probably pretty bad for Loke here, both having made this play, which at this point, unless OP has supers, this is looking to be a waste of time. But also, even when Lokir gets up to upper mines, we'll have to do that awful boost manip or come back to elite research, both of which are pretty painful options. As Lokir, you definitely want just the Phazon elite to be your artifact, and then have nothing at the top. You're approaching a piece dead on. Yeah, immediately triggering the fight.
Also bad news in terms of Lokir's side with the boost ball. We'll have to go all the way around to reach elite research. Won't be able to do the clip through the wall.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's definitely less efficient route-wise. Having to reverse all the way through upper mines once you've do elite racers is pretty painful. It's hard to not do that here, though, knowing that elite research is an artifact. Now, maybe if you know you can't do the boost manip, maybe you decide it would be too painful to get there and not get the artifact and have to walk all the way out. I guess you could take the save and quarry before you do all that, and then still make the play. I guess I don't hate that. At least you don't have to walk all the way out through all these rooms. Or I guess you could always do the lesser spinner minute to at least finish routing through upper mines. So I think
Interesting way to reach the crane.
Oh, nice. So I think Lokier is hitting a charge shot and then an uncharged shot on OP, which is enough to stagger him, but it's less damage than you can theoretically get in, which is doing exactly 2 fully charged shots. So you actually want to burn that uncharged shot that comes out as you try to charge the second one by like pointing away from him and shooting it. So I think at this point OP is going to reform, and we'll have to go through another cycle here. Yeah, Arrow scouted PCA. Lokier did not to my... Oh my god, is this going to work? I thought OP was going to reform for sure there. Oh! What do I know?
It worked just a little bit slower than...
Yeah, I guess because Lokier was staggering him so fast, you probably... I guess you do get a few more cycles of leeway before his armor regenerates. But yeah, you spend that much more time waiting, so the fight ends up being a bit slower. I just thought it wasn't going to work at all, but... Interesting. Yeah, Lokier really needs this to be supers or PCA, or it's going to be pretty hard going here. Yep, good point from chat. Presumably, if PCA was something, Arrow would have made the play for it after Upper Mines. Or potentially even immediately. We do have our first finisher from among the other community members. Robo Scout takes first place, 1 hour 30:24. GG's Robo. Robo Scout also going to be in the upcoming Prime tournaments. I'm looking forward to seeing more from Robo.
Yes, I think we're in the 40s, right, for participants.
Yeah, I think 40. I think 40 is the current number, which is a pretty dang good turnout. Maybe the most we've had in a Prime tournament at all. I could be mistaken there, but I think our previous record was somewhere in the 30s. So, yeah, this should be a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We got a bunch of variety in the categories. We're going to be racing different presets every week during Swiss. And we're going to have a pretty stacked top 8, just given the number of runners in the tournament. Anybody who can survive those rounds of Swiss is going to be a serious Metroid Prime gamer. So yeah, the hunt is on for the supers on Arrow's side. That's all we need at this point. Supers into the tree. So where you wish you were playing Small Samus, where I think you can clip into the tree and out. Just lockpick the item. But alas, we do need the supers today. Now, Arrow, I think, never did actually come back for this, did he? This could be supers. This would be really bad if it was supers. Okay, no. Just nothing. It's another... I question picking up that nothing. I think that sets some weird layers. I forget what all it does. Or maybe it's actually... Maybe that's not tied to any layers and it's just having grapple. I forget.
Going through frigate.
Reverse frigate. Oh dear.
So we've also got what? We've got plasma processing, and we've got Oh my god.
Oh my god!
The
Arrow with
play.
the plays! Arrow did pick up Flamethrower, but took an unfortunate death in Magma Pool and did not bother to go get that second pass.
Almost
A lot of play from Arrow. So this trick is not free. So one tip for Arrow in the future, if you get down at least halfway, you can sit on... Oh, come on! You can sit on the intermediate, the middle ledge there, and you can wall boost against the glass on the front of the screen, and get the rest of the way. And that way you only need to do like single good wall boost rather than that chained one. That's pretty difficult.
Huh. I did not know that.
Aaron needed they both need supers to get an artifact out of the tree.
And technically,
and ghosts as well. A lot of
ghosts,
yeah. So yeah, extra bad for Loki here, not having the boost. Cannot make that play as well. So yeah, Loki absolutely needs gravity or boost to be able to finish this. And gravity presumably is somewhere pretty cursed.
Plasma processing, maybe?
Yeah, we have that. We've got Hall of Elders, Elder Chamber.
Yeah.
Boy. Is that it?
That seems like it. Arrow choosing to go through Chozo?
Oh, we haven't seen Great Tree Chamber either. Oh, it could be cargo freight. Oh no. That's such a bad gravity location whenever it shows up there. And Randomizer has liked doing that recently. Really hoping to get bailed out by a boost ball here, but unfortunately will not. But yeah, I mean, from Loker's position, this absolutely could have been boost. I never realized that these Way Pirates were both proximity triggered and triggered by
the invisible pirates?
Shadow Pirates being dead. Yeah. Huh. I guess I just always kill the Shadow Pirates right away. So I've always just had the Way Pirates come in as soon as I kind of round one of those corners up there.
That is Arrow's last artifact.
Imagine this being one of the only seeds where you get a Phazon suit and you're disappointed. This Phazon suit is great, but finding it here means you you kind of need boost ball. Look, you're on track to have this AI minute down at least. Should get a pretty quick fight here. Meanwhile, Arrow is hoofing it to Ridley.
Double checking the map on Lokir's side to confirm that this is indeed elite research, meaning that we'll need to get the artifact up there.
He is climbing the room, so it does seem like he's at least gonna open the door, if not go for the item. pretty hard to leave this artifact behind if you are at all comfortable with the trick, though, even though it's going to be relatively slow. Six artifacts in tow. We are ready for Ridley here. Got all the goodies to make this fight as easy as possible. Use all primary amongst them. Skipping most of the flying phase. Oh yeah, welcome in Samuel, who finished in second place, 1 hour, 35 minutes, 29 seconds. First phase for Arrow, no flyby skip. It's a frame perfect shot, so no fault there. There's some sort of setup for it now, I think, but even that seems pretty bad. Okay, look, here's gonna go for this manip. Can trick this spinner into thinking we are boosting in it by kind of rolling in and then quickly changing the direction on your control stick.
Yep, might be hard to see, but the cannon is turning ever so slowly. It can be fine if you're just trying to open the door, but when you have to actually get it all the way around the room, it's painful. But not wanting to backtrack all the way here, definitely see this as a good option.
You might still want to open this before you move it all the way past. Like, you're going to want to leave out this door, I think. I would recommend opening the door here, even if you're going for the item. Yeah, both of them. So, yeah, Lokir never went to Tower of Light. Arrow went back pretty late as well.
Yeah.
After
Plasma Beam, I believe.
Yeah, even after his second pass of Chozo, he skipped Tower of Light. And yeah, so both runners Observatory dashed for the Plasma Beam.
Last location
Arrow,
Dice Beam.
Yeah, Arrow hard, last location dice. Lokir had only not done far Chozo stuff. Arrow, I think, also like hard last location bombs. It was a rough routing for Arrow, and also had an unfortunate death when he was checking Magma Pool. Accidentally grabbed a grapple point while he was trying to, or accidentally dashed with his space jump while trying to grapple across, and dashed right into the lava.
Yeah, the early game was pretty interesting for both these two. We saw some nice divergence as Arrow grabbed the X-ray in Frigga Crash Site immediately, and was pointed in the direction of Root Cave, getting them various suit, and did Magmorph Wave, and Lokir did early Chozo and found the bombs. So they ended up meeting back up around the 40-minute mark, but at this point Lokir's done the lower mines where Arrow skipped it and was rewarded by, of course, finding the Phazon suit in Elite Research.
Is that enough? Oh, a little bit more. Honestly, Looker's done a pretty good job of this. You can get... Oh, that was the biggest one. You can get pretty good spins here if you're... That was really good. So if you're able to get that consistently, this can be pretty quick, but it's hard. You have to really have practice. It's a lot to be that consistent. And it's like... It doesn't come up that often. So, like, I myself have not practiced this as much as I probably should have. Something to freshen up on before the tournament. Yeah, as both runners were getting into mines, I had mixed feelings on which was better between upper and lower. Like, doing lower first is more efficient routing-wise if you need to full clear everything. And, like, it's still relatively likely that at least one of your important items was down there. I didn't hate doing it first. But yeah, you do risk falling behind if it's a seed where the landmines was deleted. Which unfortunately is part of what happened to Loki here. The other big thing just being the lack of the boost ball has really kind of come back to bite Loki here. Especially with this, especially with supers being where they are. Arrow was able to sequence break the supers at this point. The next thing Arrow did was Hydroaxis Tunnel, but Loki has no ability to do that. Oh boy.
Spoilers.
Okay, that was a really good sequence break from Arrow then. Anyways, we're on to the big crab. Goal is to break each of its phases here. You are able to kind of deal damage to the upcoming phase as it's dashing and turning around. So you can use that to your advantage to hopefully use your beams and or beam combos that deal better damage and hopefully skip the parts that, such as wave beam, that have less damage. As we did there. So we managed to just skip the wave. Oh, was that plasma? Oh, it was plasma.
Yes. An unfortunate one order for it to come up. You really want to see the plasma being, or the wave being skipped.
Yeah, we did get one plasma beam off shot, or one plasma beam shot off during the turnaround there, which almost completes half the health of this wave phase, so that's already a decent win. The Ice Predator does enough damage to one-shot one of these cycles. Yeah, the bombs would have trolled me too. Like, I hard called something in Root Cave really early. At first I thought it was going to be bombs, and then later it made more sense to be Varia once we found PBs. And that would have taken me into Magmor, so I would have been really late to bombs here. The PBs would have made me like second guess myself, but I think I still would have done it. Yeah, Power of Light acquired this seed. In fact, yeah, Tower of Light was hard required, yeah. Unless you like wall crawl plasma processing for some reason. They're out of missiles, unfortunately. Yeah, so the reset did cost him some missile capacity, which is kind of coming back to hurt a little bit here. One more super should do it for us. Alright, one more super. Two more supers will do it for us.
That arrow is on to Essence.
Like the dueling red versus blue phase on seats. Do have the feature of palette rotation in the random. Only applies to Samus' suits, but actually a nice little thing to tweak, mess around with, see what you like. Phase on suit looks great with everything. It's a good suit design. So we're gonna go for attack cancel strats here. Every time Essence tries to perform an action, it increments the count towards it dropping the next pool. And if you wait for it to start an action and then interrupt it with getting shot by the hyper beam, you can kind of speed the process along of getting your next pool out. Not have to wait for it to do its long attack animations.
May have missed it on Lokir's side, but went into Life Grove Tunnel and almost went into the the boost half pipe, but quickly turned around.
Good catch there. Hero's going to go for the quick 4 pool here. It can be possible to complete this fight with 3 pools. If you do attack cancels the first 2 and then do pool cancels in the third, which is as you walk in and out of the phase-on pool, you're able to deal more damage with the pool than the amount you actually deplete from the pool's lifespan or whatever.
That is time for Arrow.
GG's finishes in 3rd place overall. The race time of 1:49.44. See if we can get Arrow in here for an interview as well. As Lokir searches for this boost ball. And we're joined by Arrow. Welcome in, GG's.
Hydro access tunnel, man.
Quite the location.
So where was gravity?
Plasma processing, apparently.
Okay, so I was actually considering plasma processing when I got back to Magmore from Thardus.
Okay,
and I was like, you know what? Nah, what's the worst it could be?
Yeah.
Given, I will say the wall boosts were for the most part very kind in Hydro Access Tunnel today.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
you
they
did a nice
work
job with
out.
it. The one thing I did make a note of, if you ever gonna get like halfway down like the long boost, you can actually land yourself on that intermediate platform and like wall boost off the glass.
I
like
suck
the
at
front of the
doing
screen.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not bothering with that. But yeah, my plan was to check Hydro Access Tunnel, then go back into Chozo, Elder Chamber, all of that, do some Chozo cleanup if it wasn't there, and then take the lower mines dive.
Mhm.
I have 0 intent on doing lower mines.
Yeah, it worked out well. Yeah, one of the things that kind of set you and Lokir apart towards the end was Lokir did do lower to upper mines when riding through mines.
I got the PPC. I peeked PCA to make sure it wasn't PCA, and then I was like,
that was a good
I'm
call.
gonna move. Nice random extra dash in magma pool to cost me like 7 minutes early.
Yeah.
That one hurt. It's like I felt really good after that because I got Varia and Wave, and I'm like, I feel very ahead. And then I died.
Yeah, the early game routing had worked out pretty well for, and like at that point, like,
yeah. And then I proceeded
yeah.
to the last location, Ice Beam. But
that's
Thardus.
Kind of gonna
Thardus and out of the way too.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, when the thermal on Qmon came up, it was
that was my big LMAO in the race time chat. I got the thermal. I'm like, I just busted out 11. I'm like, all right, this is Ice Beam.
Yeah.
Before I even started the fight.
Yeah, if you don't have like super Zerg thermal, like Thardus is kind of a tough sell to head towards.
Well, no, my thing
thermal
was I didn't have a good opportunity to go because since I didn't have gravity, I cannot do Twin Fires without Gravity or Spider. I can't do I don't know how to do the standable yet. In Twin Fires. So I wasn't going to commit to Workstation Thardus until I had Spider or Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
But once I had Spider, I'm like, alright. Let's do Flogger Ghost because we know that's required. Then we'll fight Thardus. Because that's exactly what it is. As soon as I got Flogger, I went straight to Thardus.
Well, looks like on our left side, Lokir is forfeited.
Didn't find supers. Oh, if I got some information for Lokir.
Well, didn't find boost ball was the bigger thing.
Oh, boost ball sucked.
What a time.
That
Alright.
was a
Welcome in,
seed.
So, Lokir, would you like the lore?
I would love the lore. Where was Boost Ball and Supers?
Boost Ball, Tower of Light.
Ah, God damn it.
I got it very late as well. Which ties into supers if you don't have gravity suit, hydro access tunnel.
Oh no!
So yeah, I did the wall boost. Well, gravity was in plasma processing.
I saw plasma processing and I was like, I know I'm orphaning this check. There's so
I
much
did the same
stuff I
thing
haven't
after-
seen in, like,
because-
Card Dojo.
Yeah, because I last location Thardus. So
Oh,
when I
did
got the
not,
ice
luckily,
beam,
but-
so when I got the ice beam, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this ice beam and go straight to mines. So I wanna go get-
my thoughts were, I have all beams. I'm going to do every late game area. So I did
Well, I
Farfen, and then I did
decided
all of mine.
I did do
Yeah.
Farfen. I did do Farfen because Farfen's quick enough. I didn't bother with lower mines. I did peak PCA. After I got to Elite Research to get my artifact, I'm like, all right, let's see what the yellow item is. Oh, Phazon suit. That's convenient.
Mhm.
Cool. And I'm like, yep, I'm out of here. I'm going to Life Grove and I'm gonna do Hydro Access Tunnel without gravity because I do that all the time. Like, I'll only do Hydro Access Tunnel as far as like on that side and then leave. But yeah. And that's all
Yeah.
supers that I'm like, that was the WTF bubble I put in the race time chat. That was when I got supers, and I'm like, really game.
Yeah, the whole seed was actually super interesting to watch. Routing
Yeah,
wise.
this
like
was,
there was
uh,
route divergence literally in the first room. Arrow went to
I went
FCS,
straight to I went straight to frigate crash site.
and that X-ray pointed Arrow back to Root Cave after doing the Hive Mecha loop because
Yeah,
that
after
point,
the
Arrow
Mecha loop,
knew
I
Root Cave was in logic, and
Like,
it
I don't know
didn't.
if you remember this. I climbed the tree to climb up to the other room. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I'm going to Root Cave.
Yeah, I like
And
that play a lot.
I got
Um,
Vari, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to Magmore and hopefully not have. And I was like, I have power bombs, so at worst, I could just save warp out of past Lava Lake. Got
And
Wave Beam, and I'm like, cool.
I
And
know,
then died in Magma Pool.
I was watching Arrow like get the Varia, go into Magmar. I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I would have been doing. This is all working out great. And then Lokir finds bombs behind Zoid. I'm like, God dang
I
it!
was like, this is the dumbest play I've done in a very long time, but I'm going to do it.
I last location the
couldn't
bombs.
believe it.
I had Zoid was all I had left, I believe, at that time. I think
Oh,
I
man.
last location the bombs, but because of that, the bombs kind of gated a lot of stuff early.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just kind of playing the early game like it was vanilla, and it worked out. Like the very early game, like first 15 minutes or so. Man, what a seed! I literally
Yeah, this
haven't
seed
played
was
this game
crazy.
in like 7-8 months at all. So
I've done a couple of seeds,
I
but very
did better
little.
than I thought I would.
Yeah, I'm also looking at this, and we were getting close to 130, and I'm like, no one's done. What is this seed?
Yeah, Orphaning Tower of Light really screwed me over.
Yeah, I put it off for way too long as well, but thankfully, like, the only thing I ended up using boost for outside of movement was Hydro Access Tunnel and Ridley. So, like, because I never went to Vent Shaft, I never went to, like, I never bothered with lower mines.
I could have gone without plasma processing. It was really just
Yeah,
a
I never
Tower of
got it.
Light and then
I never
Hydro
got
Access.
gravity. I did the wall
Yeah.
boost.
That's annoying. But fun seed, weird seed.
Weird seed. Yeah, the thing that had me hung up on the end was like, I have no idea if it placed ice or plasma first. Because you
Oh, yeah.
conceivably could have gotten them in either order. And
You
that
could have
made
gotten them in either order.
the like end game of like where the heck am I supposed to go after I get ice beam?
I
just
feel like
impossible.
if you had
No,
gotten,
yeah.
I feel like if you had gotten Ice Beam first, you could have routed it far better because if you had gone to Thardus first and gotten Ice, there's no way you don't immediately back a Fin reverse labs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is 100% what you do.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I played like 60% of the game after getting that ice beam. I'm like,
Also,
found nothing.
Also, I died checking Magma Pool because Samus decided to dash the other way into a wall while grappling the thing, and I didn't get up the lava in time. So nice 20 minutes in death. Yeah, I gotta hop out here and get some food. GG's. It was fun.
Yeah, GG's there.
GG's to all the runners. Yeah.
GG's.
Hey.
Okay, we'll just give one more thank you to all of our volunteers today, and thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting us.
Yeah, thank you, Comms and Tracker. Thank you, SpeedGaming.
Yeah, looks like our bot commands aren't working today, but do give the runners a follow. They put on a great performance here today. Tough seed. And yeah, stay tuned. We unfortunately might only have one more weekly coming up in the near future here next week. The reason being, we've got that tournament starting up next week. Stay tuned. We'll have, 20 races a week for 6 weeks coming your way. That's going to be a heck of a good time. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Awesome.
And yeah, actually, everybody in the booth here is going to be in the tournament. Jeff and I and Op and both of our runners today, all participants. So keep an eye out.
Okay, with that, I think we're finished. Thank you all again. See you next time.
See you next mission.